Welcome to Hayden Cooks a Lot. Today I'm going to be making some guacamole, one of my favorite snacks. So to get started, make sure your hair is up, nothing's on your hands or arms, your sleeves are rolled up, hands are washed, and you are ready. Underneath my cutting board, I put some rubber silicone pot holders, and if you don't have that, that's fine. You can use a damp paper towel that you get wet and then spread it out flat the length of your cutting board, and it helps the cutting board not to move when you're cutting on it. So I have in front of us some Hass avocados. There's about 8 of them right here because they are the small ones. Hass avocados usually come a little bit bigger than this, but these are the babies. So I have about 8 of them. And everything here is already washed and dry. I have a couple limes. I'm going to start off with one and then taste to see if I need to add more lime juice. I have a big fat jalapeno. I have a white onion. You're welcome to use a red onion or a yellow onion. It doesn't matter. You can also use serrano peppers, which look like smaller jalapeno peppers. They're a little spicier. I do like that too. I have a handful of cilantro. And we have some salt and some pepper. And some people also like to put in their guacamole sometimes a little bit of ground cumin, a little bit of cayenne pepper. Some people put tomato in there, that's fine. So that's up to you, whatever it is that you like. So I am going to cut the avocados first, and I'm going to be putting them into this bowl. So I'm going to take the avocado, which is already washed, and I'm going to be using my chef knife. So the chef knife, remember the blade is lower than the handle of the chef knife. I'm going to take my middle finger, and I'm right-handed. I'm going to slide this up to this little groove area, wrap my hand around it. My first finger is bent here, and my thumb is right there. Okay, and that's how I'm holding it. And this is actually a Santoku style chef knife, which has these little divots on there, which helps food not to stick to the side of the knife. And it's actually a little bit thinner than a regular chef knife. So, but it doesn't matter. I like all of them. So I'm going to take my avocado, and you want to make sure that you're using a ripe avocado. So these avocados are green when they're not ripe, and then as they ripen, they start to turn like a purpley black color. And if it has a slight give to it, not too much, but a slight give to it, that usually indicates that it's ripe. Some people also pop off this little thing right here to see if it's like green inside or starting to turn brown. If it doesn't want to come off, it's probably not ripe. So I'm going to take this avocado, and I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to hold the sides of it with my knife. And I'm going to slice down, and there's a pit in the center of it. So now I'm going to stand the avocado up on end as I rotate my knife going all the way around, and I can feel that pit in the middle. Set my knife down, and now I'm going to twist the pieces of avocado apart. Okay, and then you can see this one has the little pit in there. So since these are baby avocados, the pit is tiny. So to get this out, you can keep your fingers back out of the way. So notice that they're not up on the edge of the avocado, and you can take your knife and just kind of stab at it a little bit and then rotate, and then it will pop right out. Okay, and then you can put that off to the side. The pits, we don't eat the pits, but you can do stuff with the pits. So you can actually make a plant and grow a little avocado plant out of the pit. You can let the pit dry for like a day or two, and there will be a skin on the outside that you peel off, and then you can actually carve the pit into like a little piece of artwork type of thing. You could, after it dries for like a day or two, you can also peel it and then slices going down, and so they make little flat discs, and then once they're dry, you can drill into it and actually make buttons for a shirt. So there's lots of different things you can do with an avocado pit. So I'm going to take this now, and I'm going to use a spoon, and I'm going to push into this avocado here all the way around and scoop the avocado out of its little skin shell here, and I'm going to drop it into this bowl. So, and I want to make sure that I get all of the flesh out, and I'm going to leave that little stem end behind. Now, some people will open up this skin when it has a little bit of the green stuff left, and on a clean face, they'll smear the avocado that's left behind on here and do like a little facial with avocado. I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna, again, go around with my spoon and then scoop the little gut out, okay? And then I'm gonna get the rest of these avocado guts out of here. Well, guts, that's kind of a gross word. I guess I should say just the avocado. All right. And put that in the bowl. The skin can go in your compost, so that would give nutrition to some dirt. Now, I'm gonna come back in a minute. I'm gonna finish all the rest of these avocados. I have 8 of the baby ones over here. All right, so I have all of the avocado in here, and as this gets exposed to air, it's going to have enzymatic browning, which will occur, and it will start to turn a little bit brown. So we need to get an acid on it to help that. So I'm going to be putting the lime juice in right away. So I'm going to hold my chef knife correctly, and I'm going to take my lime, and if this is the top of the lime, this is the bottom of the lime, I'm just going to cut it directly in half this way. Here's the top, here's the bottom. I'm going to cut it in half this way because I'm just going to be juicing it, all right? If I was going to be making little wedges to go on the side of a dish, I would cut it differently. So I'm going to take a fork, and the limes usually don't have seeds or very few seeds in them. You can always do this over top of another bowl if you think yours is full of seeds. And I'm going to stick a fork in this and stab, and then I'm going to squeeze the lime around the fork, aiming it down over top of the avocado, and you can see all this juice is coming out everywhere. This is a good juicy one. When you buy limes at the store, and if you want to use them right away, you want to get the ones that are more of the lighter looking green rather than the dark green. They should have a little bit of a slight give to it, which means it's going to be juicy. If you pick up a lime and it's rock hard, it's not going to be juicy at all. So, all right, got that one in. And now I'm gonna juice this one, this other half. All right, I'm squeezing, rotating that fork around, getting out all of that juice. And limes are really good for you, full of vitamin C in them. And our avocado, of course, is really good for us too, full of vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin K, has B6 in it, magnesium, potassium, it has a folate in it, fiber, it's a monounsaturated fat, and it's full of omega-3 fatty acids, so it's super good for us. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna give my hands a rinse, get that lime juice off. Alrighty. All right, so now we need to mash this avocado, but I don't want to mash it to death. I want to leave it a little bit chunky, okay? So a little bit of chunks on my tortilla chip I think tastes good, all right? So you are welcome to use a fork. I'm actually going to use this tool right here. Do any of you remember what this thing here is called? It's the one that people frequently get wrong on their kitchen equipment test. This is the pastry blender. So we use this when we are cutting in solid fat into our flour mixture, when we go to make biscuits, pie crust, stuff like that. Of course, you can use your fingers, you can use a fork, you can use 2 knives, but this is the tool that makes it go a little bit faster. So I actually like to use this to mash bananas and to mash avocados. So I'm gonna stick this down in my bowl, okay? And I'm gonna be pushing down against the sides of the bowl, and it is cutting up the avocados, okay? I'm pushing, 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 and I'm rotating as I go back and forth. All right, and let's see here, let me get a few more in there, mashes. All right. All right, I'm gonna take my spoon and let me give this a little stir and see how it's chunky, but I see some, like that one right there, that's too big of a chunk, so I need to mash a little bit more. All right, so get right there, get that big one. All right, that looks pretty good right there. All right, so that helped incorporate that lime juice into it. So I'm going to scrape the avocado off of my pastry blender because I don't want to waste anything because that is money and I paid for it, so I'm going to eat it. All right. Put that in the sink and then give my finger a rinse because I got a little bit of avocado on it. All right, so I'm gonna scrape around the side of the bowl here. There we go. Good, set this off to the side. All right, what do I wanna do next? Oh, and I'm gonna taste later to see if I need to add that second lime. Probably one will probably be fine, but we'll see. All right, I think I'm going to put in my onion next. So I already washed this onion. This is a white onion. This is the stem end of it. This is the root end, and the root ends usually have these hairy fibers. I always pull them off when I wash the onion. If there's any really loose skin, I pull that off too. I'm going to hold my chef knife correctly. I'm going to be cutting off the stem end. So I'm going to go like this, hold on to this so it doesn't wobble, and I'm going to be slicing down. I'm going to, whoop, I didn't get enough. Let me try again. Cut a little bit more off. There we go. Get that out of here. It'll go in my compost. Flat side, that was the stem end down. Root side will be face up. Okay. And I'm going to put my palm on top of the knife, and my thumb is closed. I don't have it like this where my thumb is behind the knife because that's how you can cut your finger. So I'm going to put my palm through it, and now I'm going to slice directly through that center of that onion, right through the middle of that root. Okay. And this bigger half I'm going to set off to the side for something else. I'm going to use this part of the onion here, and now I'm going to peel off the outer layer of skin. So now I can easily grab this, okay, and I actually need to pull off one layer because it looks a little bit dry underneath the skin. Sometimes you need to do that, sometimes you don't. All right, there we go, and I got one little bit on my hand. Get that off. All right, so now I'm going to, I want to do a fine dice on this. So I have the root end away from me, and I'm going to be coming in and using the tip of my knife, and I'm going to be making little cuts going all the way across without cutting through the root. So that's what holds your onion together as you go to chop, so it doesn't fall apart. So roots away from me, and I'm going to come in. I'm right-handed, so I'm starting on the right side of the knife, and I'm using the tip of the knife. I'm looking over top of my onion to see where it is I'm cutting, and I'm cutting straight down, and then pretty close to the last one, I'm cutting right next to it. Okay, I'm doing a whole bunch of fine little cuts. You can see my onion is not falling apart, and I'm keeping my fingers out of the way. All right. Thumb and pinky are held back. Now, as I get closer to this side, you want to be careful that you don't cut your fingers. So you want to hold the onion on the other side to hold it down. And I press down when I'm holding the onion so it doesn't wiggle anywhere. All right, now still using the tip of my knife to cut through. And as I get close to where the onion angles, I am doing little shallower cuts. All right, so as you can see here, I have a whole bunch of little cuts there in the onion. And look, it's not falling apart. All right, now I'm going to rotate the onion. So now I'm right-handed, so the root end is to my left, and I'm going to come back, okay, against this flat side, which used to be the stem. And now my fingers are holding it down, but away, thumb and pinky are tucked, and now I'm gonna cut very close to the edge, little fine cuts. All right, so this is going to be doing a fine dice. All right. All right, and as I get closer to that, I'm just going to chop around it. Okay, and then get rid of that little piece right there. Woo, making my eyes burn just slightly. So I'm going to pick this up with my hands, throw that on top. All right, so one of the things you can do if you're crying on your eyes, you can, it's a little bug. You wash my hands, just grab them. Got a little gnat. Just glue in here. I have my screen porch door open so my cats are going in and out the screen porch. All right. So one of the things you can do if your eyes are crying from cutting onions, you can open your freezer door, stick your face inside the freezer, and blink, 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 for like 5-10 seconds or so, and the oils and the burn will come out of your eyes. Okay, so I don't need to do that. I'm good. All right, so now I'm gonna take my jalapeno, and when you go to cut a jalapeno or any other kind of hot pepper, you need to be careful because the oils that will get on your skin, they can burn your skin, and if you touch your eye, it'll burn your eye, so if it gets in your eye, just keep blinking, 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 so it'll be tender on your skin, so be careful. I'm gonna cut this into some rings, and then I'm gonna go back and I'm going to chop this up pretty small. I don't mind the seed in my guacamole. If you don't like that, that's okay. You can leave the seeds out. Now I'm gonna scoot it into a little pile together. I'm gonna put my palm on top and I'm gonna cut down. And I'm just gonna go back and forth with my knife, scoot it back into a pile, and keep on cutting. Jalapeno also is full of vitamin C and fiber and all kinds of things that are good for us. One time I made the mistake of making candied jalapenos. I had about probably 50 jalapenos from my garden, and I was slicing them into fine little slices, and I was candying them to can them. It's called cowboy candy, if you ever look that up. It's like sweet and hot. My hands burnt for days. I learned my lesson that if I'm going to be cutting a lot of jalapenos, I need to be wearing gloves. And so that was a big mistake. I'll never do that again. All right, scoop this into another pile, running my knife through it. This is fun. Some of your stress out, you know. All right, and let me wipe. I don't want to put my fingers on it, so I'm wiping with that clean fork that's right there. Oh, my hands. Get off. There you go. Okay, and I think that is pretty good. Yep. Get a few more. There we go. All right. So I'm going to use, or I should not have done that. Oh, well. I'm just going to use my knife to scoop up the jalapeno, and I'm going to drop it in here because I don't want to touch it and get all those oils on me. There we go. All right. That looks good. All right, let me rinse this thing off. I'm going to rinse off my cutting board a little bit. There we go. Okay, so here we have some cilantro. Make sure that you wash this well. It does have sand and dirt in it. I left some of the stems here. The stems have lots of flavor. When you buy this at the grocery store, they usually have it right next to the Italian parsley. Or just regular parsley. Regular parsley is really, really curly looking. You can definitely tell this is a flat leaf. But if it's next to Italian parsley, that's also a flat leaf. So you need to pick it up and give it a sniff. And it has a slight citrusy smell to it. You can also, it should have a twist tie on there with a label that says cilantro. Okay, so read your labels to make sure you get the right thing. You don't want to put parsley in your guacamole. It wouldn't taste very good. So going to take this, cut it in half, stack it on top of itself. And I'm going to do the same thing I did with the jalapeno. Hold my knife correctly, palm on this part of the knife here. You can see I'm about right there. And I'm just going to run it back and forth. And I'm going to mince up this cilantro. I love cilantro. Cilantro to me is delicious. A lot of people like it. Few people don't care for it. And the reason why they don't care for it is that they have a gene where it makes cilantro makes it tastes like they're eating soap. So who wants to eat soap? Ooh. But I don't have that gene. I have the I want to eat cilantro gene. So this is very good for me. I use it in all kinds of stuff. It tastes a little bit lemony to me. All right, that's pretty good right there. Put that up and grab this up with my hand. Here we go. And I'm going to use my finger to swipe down, away from the blade. Never go up. That's how you cut yourself. And I'm going to give this a rinse. Give this a rinse. So now we need to add in some salt and pepper. So I'm going to be using pink Himalayan salt because this is full of a whole bunch of minerals in it. I think that label said it somewhere or another. I got this at Costco. I guess it doesn't say. I think there's like 43 minerals or something or other in there. Has a little grinder on the top of it. And when you make guacamole and you make salsa, you want a decent amount of salt in there to give it some flavor. All right. You can use kosher salt. You can use your regular table salt. Okay. That's probably, maybe a half teaspoon or so. I can always add more. This is fresh ground pepper. This is my pepper mill. And I have it on the fine setting. I don't like big chunks of, cracked pepper in it sticks in my teeth, like, ew. So I'm just gonna grind some of this on here. Always add more later. I like to keep this in a little dish because it does, let off some of its little pieces of flaked pepper in there, and I don't want to get that in my cupboard. Now I'm going to stir this up. This is what it looks like right now. Yummy. All right, so I'm going to stir this up, stirring in that onion and that cilantro and the salt and the pepper and the jalapeno into the mashed avocados. Looks really good. It smells good. You can smell that lime going on. Making sure I get to the bottom and flip that over. And this actually freezes really well. So if you end up, it's best to eat it fresh, but if you have a little too much of it, that's fine. You can just throw it in a little freezer bag, seal out the air, flatten it out, label it, throw it in your freezer flat. And then when you want some, you can thaw it, or maybe you want to have just little bits at a time. So you can put this guacamole in an ice cube tray. And then once it's frozen, pop the cubes out of it and put that in a freezer bag or freezer container or whatever. And then if you let that just defrost, then you can have fresh guacamole when you're ready for it. So let's give this a taste. So I don't have any of my favorite tortilla chips. The store was out. So I happened to be at Lidl the other day and got these here. So want to always test your food before you serve it to somebody. All right, so I'm going to take a little scoop and give it a taste to see if I need to adjust my seasonings. I taste the lime. It definitely has salt in it, not too much though. The avocado is good and creamy. The onion and the jalapeno have a little bit of crunch in there. I think it's delicious. And the jalapeno that I used, even though I had a big giant fat one, it's not very spicy. So, and I like spicy. So I don't have another jalapeno right now. So what am I gonna do? I think I'm gonna put a little cayenne pepper in it because that would go well in here. So I'm gonna be back in a second, grab my cayenne pepper. All right, so I keep my spices in my pantry. All right, so this is cayenne pepper, which is a ground red pepper that has a little bit of spice in there. And I'm gonna use a spoon. And let me see here. Let me pull out, this is probably 1/8 of a teaspoon right there. Because this, I like it spicy, and if it's not spicy, to me it's just not as good as it could be. So I'm gonna stir this cayenne pepper into it. And then I'm going to retaste it. So it does not need any more lime juice, salt, pepper, or anything. It was the perfect amount. It just needed a little bit more heat. But if you like stuff mild, hey, whatever you like. All right, let's see here. There we go. Now we got a little tiny kick going on. Very good. All right, well, try some guacamole. See how you like it. Thanks for joining me.